Imagine a world shimmering with light. Not the light of the sun, but the glow of countless cities, interconnected by invisible threads of data. In this world, wallets are a memory and cash is an artifact. Every street, every market, every human interaction is painted in the neon hue of a digital transaction. Hands no longer exchange paper. They tap screens. QR codes bloom like digital flowers in every storefront. And across the globe, blockchain nodes pulse in unison. A new constellation guiding the flow of value. This is the dawn of the crypto age, a time when the cumbersome architecture of old finance, the banks, the mints, the vaults, has crumbled into obsolescence. In its place, chains of cryptographic code bind every transaction, promising a new era of financial harmony. At first, the promise is fulfilled. A golden age unfolds. Imagine a farmer in a remote village, a programmer in a bustling metropolis, and a trader on a distant continent, all sharing the same financial lifeline. Borders dissolve, not by treaty, but by technology. Payments are instantaneous, global trade is seamless, and economic friction becomes a relic of the past. The system is elegant, decentralized, and seemingly perfect. It is a world without middlemen, a world where financial sovereignty rests in the hands of the individual. For a fleeting moment, humanity experiences a unified economic pulse, a rhythm of pure, unadulterated efficiency. It feels like freedom. It feels like the future. But every utopia casts a long shadow. The first tremors are subtle, then seismic. ATMs stand like silent tombstones, their screens dark. The grand towers of banking, once symbols of unshakable power, now stand as hollow shells, their purpose extinguished. We watch as the old currencies, the dollars, the euros, the yen, flutter in the wind like worthless confetti, ghosts of a bygone era. Behind closed doors, in the darkened chambers of power, governments scramble. Faces are pale, illuminated only by the cold light of screens displaying a decentralized chaos they cannot control. The very concept of a tax system evaporates into a complex web of anonymous ledgers. Power, once flowing from the state, now emanates from an unseen priesthood of miners and coders, their identities shrouded, their motives unknown. The foundations of nations begin to crack as sovereignty itself slips through their trembling fingers like digital sand. The world tilts on its axis, and the dream sours into a nightmare. The escalation is swift and brutal. Financial markets are no longer charts and graphs. They are digital storms, blizzards of flashing numbers where cryptocurrencies surge and crash like violent tidal waves. We see families huddled around screens, their faces etched with horror as life savings, built over generations, are wiped out in a matter of seconds. The dream of individual sovereignty becomes a curse of individual responsibility, with no safety net to catch the falling. The physical world begins to pay the price for this digital frenzy. City lights flicker and die as crypto mining operations. Vast warehouses of humming machines drain power grids to the breaking point. Blackouts become commonplace. The invisible infrastructure of the new economy proves terrifyingly fragile. And in the shadows, criminal empires flourish, weaving webs of illicit trade through the anonymity the system provides. For the ordinary citizen, the promise of freedom has become a battlefield of volatility, fear, and chaos. The cues of the past return, not for bread, but for a stable connection, a flicker of power, a sliver of hope that the digital wealth hasn't vanished into the ether of a forgotten password or a lost hardware key. The climax arrives not with a bang, but with a chilling silence. The great stock exchanges, once cauldrons of human ambition, are now just empty, echoing halls. Bank vaults, once filled with gold, now gather dust. Leaders of nations, desperate to reclaim control, find their commands are meaningless. There is no central authority to appeal to, no lever to pull. The world is a ship without a captain, tossed on a digital sea. In this vacuum, a new kind of war ignites. Invisible armies of hackers clash in cyberspace. Their battles fought in lines of code. They break chains, rewrite ledgers, and plunder digital wallets with impunity. Trust, the very bedrock of society, once built on institutions, laws, and handshakes, now hangs by the fragile thread of cryptography. The human cost becomes agonizingly clear. We see a mother, her face a mask of desperation, trying to buy food for her hungry child. Her digital wallet flashes a cruel message: insufficient energy. The network is stalled, the miners have moved on, and her value, her ability to provide, is held hostage by an invisible, indifferent system. Then comes the fall. The digital storm subsides, leaving behind a world plunged into darkness. The humming machines fall silent. The neon glow of the cities flickers out one by one. In the quiet aftermath, humanity rediscovers itself. In candlelit halls, communities gather. Barter replaces the blockchain. A bag of grain for a warm blanket, a piece of gold for a sturdy tool, a neighbor's skill for a loaf of bread. The ancient, tangible forms of exchange are reborn from the ashes of the digital empire. Farmers return to direct trade, and villages rebuild systems of trust based not on code, but on human connection and reputation. Humanity, having stared into the abyss of a world that outsourced all value to ephemeral numbers, is forced to learn a harsh lesson. Value is not just a digit on a screen. It is labor. It is trust. It is the food on our tables and the roof over our heads. But this is not the end. Out of the ruins, a new understanding emerges. Survivors, humbled and wiser, begin to rebuild. They are not abandoning technology, but taming it. Hybrid systems rise, blending the speed of digital assets with the stability of tangible value. Technology is tempered by human limits, its power balanced by newfound wisdom. The camera pulls back, showing Earth once more. It is a world no longer defined by the binary choice between old money and crypto, but one engaged in a delicate search for equilibrium, a balance between freedom and responsibility, between innovation and security. As sunlight floods the planet, we see that this journey was neither salvation nor destruction. It was a trial, a modern legend about the intoxicating allure of absolute power and the profound fragility of placing our entire existence in a chain of code. As we fade to black, a single glowing coin dissolves into the vastness of starlight, leaving us with a final, lingering question. Is humanity truly ready to surrender all value to the invisible chain? Or must some things remain where we can see them, touch them, and hold them in our own hands?